So the iPhone 12 Pro Max is Apple's newest flagship, but what about last year's phone? What about the Pro Max from last year, the 11 Pro Max? Is it still worth it? How good of a phone or how good of a deal is it right now? Let's talk about it. What up guys, welcome to Digital Slang. We're going to talk about the iPhone 11 Pro Max and why this phone might be the phone to pick up right now in 2020, even with Apple's new iPhone 12 lineup of iPhones that have been released. So the 11 Pro Max was my daily driver for most of 2020. I have been using iPhones since the iPhone 3, and if you follow the channel, I talk about that quite a bit. What I love about Apple, what I do not like about what they have done and the kind of the direction that they're going. But the 11 Pro Max is still a fantastic phone, one of my favorite phones of all time. We're going to talk about why this is such a good deal right now in 2020. And the fact that Apple did take this out of their lineup. You cannot buy this on Apple's website right now. But why do you think that is? Because this phone is a beast. Such a good phone, this would have taken away sales from the entire iPhone 12 lineup. So let's talk about the 11 Pro Max, what I love about it, what makes this phone super premium even now, 1 year later. Let's talk about build quality and design on the 11 Pro Max. This phone looks and feels very premium. Stainless steel frame surrounded by Gorilla Glass on the back and on the front with the matte finish, IP68 water and dust resistant, 4 meters for 30 minutes. The display on here, Super Retina XDR OLED display, exactly the same display that is on the 12 Pro Max, so no difference there. The display also does get very bright, 800 nits with a max brightness of 1200 nits. Overall, just a really fantastic OLED display on the iPhone. Now it is a smaller display than the 12 Pro Max, 6.7 on the 12 Pro Max, 6.5 on this phone. But watching content on here, look, if you can get used to the notch, that doesn't bother you too much, and you do get used to it after time, it is a fantastic viewing experience.
After the Z Fold 2, my unboxing and first impressions video. If you haven't seen that video, watch that before you watch this. I'll leave it up in the card.
Great speakers on here, stereo speakers. Overall, whatever you're doing on this display, it's just a good experience. And it does get very bright. Again, we talked about the nits outside in daylight. Viewing is fine. It does get bright enough to view it wherever you are from any angle. And again, it is an OLED, so you get those true colors, those true blacks on here. Now again, this is the green color, but it does come in a space gray, a silver, and a gold color, all with that beautiful matte finish that you will not notice fingerprints on. Now another thing you might notice about the 11 Pro Max is the rounded edges. So we do have the square design now. We went back in time to the iPhone 5 and that style of phone, the 4, the 4S, the 5, the 5S. I do love the new design. However, the new design does make it a little different of an experience when you are holding the phone on a day in and day out basis. I will say that the rounded edges are much easier on the hand, much easier to hold. So if you prefer that, again, this might be the better option for you. And that goes without saying, of course, the iPhone 11 Pro is the same design as the Pro Max. So if these squared off edges are a problem for you, you might prefer the rounded edges of the 11 Pro Max. And it does feel really good in the hand holding this phone. It's never been an issue, and it does just feel super premium. Let's talk about specs on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now internally, this phone is still a powerhouse and will be that way for years and years to come, with Apple giving us software updates for a minimum of 5 years. So this phone here will be relevant for a very long time and will continue to get updates all the way through. I mean, we're on iOS 14 right now, at least 18, iOS 18, this phone will be running, maybe 19. It will go and last a very long time. The A13 Bionic in here is a beast. Still to this day, one of the best processors in any phone on the market. This also does come with 4 gigs of RAM, and I know in today's world it does not seem like a lot of RAM, but we all know how efficient iOS is, and 4 gigs of RAM is plenty on this phone. I've never had an issue gaming, doing anything with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now another thing that makes this phone better than the 12 Pro Max is the battery life. The battery life on here is amazing. This phone has always lasted me, and I mean a minimum of a day most of the time a day and a half. There are many times where I would not charge my phone at night. I would just wake up, take it to work the next day, and maybe halfway through the next day, then I have to throw it on the charger for a little bit. But it's around a 4,000 milliamp battery on here, a bigger battery that's in the 12 Pro Max. Why Apple went backwards when in regards to battery, I'm not really sure. But this phone, battery champ here, great battery life on the 11 Pro Max. They also have 3 different levels of storage on here that you can purchase: 64, 256, or 512. 64, kind of not enough anymore. Go with 256 or 512. They did address this on the new iPhones. Starting storage, I believe, is 128 on the Pro Max now, and then you can go up from there. This is the 256 gigabyte model. And again, you can get these used at a very good price right now, anywhere between $500 to $800, including the 256 gigabyte model. Now, on the front, of course, we do have Face ID. And look, I have never been a fan of Face ID. It has never really worked for me, but it was good when it came out for most people. I just have never been a fan. When the iPhone X came out, I got rid of it after a week or two because of Face ID, and I went back to an 8 Plus that had the home button and the fingerprint sensor. Hopefully next year, the notch will be gone, which means Face ID will be gone, and maybe we can get a fingerprint sensor on the back where the logo is, or an in-display fingerprint sensor. There are rumors the new iPhone will come with an in-display fingerprint sensor, and I'm all for the change. I'm tired of the notch. I'm tired of Face ID, but Face ID on the 11 Pro Max, for most people, works really well, and it is very secure, which is why a lot of people love it. Now, one of the best things about this camera is, of course, how it takes pictures, how the video quality is on the 11 Pro Max. You do have the triple lens camera set up on the back. We do have a 12 megapixel wide, a 12 megapixel telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide that just take amazing pictures. One of the best still today in the game. You put this side by side against the 12 Pro Max. 12 Pro Max, look, bigger sensors on the 12 Pro Max, but side by side, you really have to pick these pictures apart to really be able to tell a difference. This will still give you fantastic pictures. And if you are a professional photographer, just look at what these guys can do with this camera on here. Really amazing stuff, guys. So if you are just buying a phone to take good pictures for social media, this is by far really good for that. So keep in mind, fantastic cameras on here. Even the front-facing camera, 12 megapixel selfie cam on here, and video quality on the 11 Pro Max, again, one of the best in the game, only really surpassed by this year's iPhone lineup, but shoots 4K all the way up to 60 frames per second, 720p all the way up to 240 frames per second, 1080p of course, and even on the front-facing camera, you can take 4K video. So really amazing cameras on this thing. Great video, just like most of the iPhones that we have for the past few years. iPhones have been really good at pics, really good at video for a long time now, and the 11 Pro is one of the best. Now look, one of the main reasons to buy this phone today in 2020 is price. You can pick this phone up on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and again, just be careful, know what you're looking for. If you're on eBay, look for a trusted seller. Amazon Renewed, but they're a little more pricey on Amazon Renewed, but it is a very safe place to buy. Facebook Marketplace, make sure you know what you're looking for if you're going to buy a phone on the used market. Swappa is a really good place, but again, places like that are a little more pricey than maybe bidding on something on eBay, buying it outright on eBay. Facebook Marketplace, you can find fantastic deals if you know what to look for. So if you have questions about what to look for on a used phone, leave a comment below and I will tell you what you can look for. But the deals range from anywhere, I've seen these things as low as $500 all the way up to about $800. But if you can pick up a phone, an 11 Pro Max for $500, $600, even $700, it's a steal. It's a great deal compared to the over $1,000 price of the 12 Pro Max. I paid like $1,300 for my 12 Pro Max, the 256 gigabyte model. I can pick up an 11 Pro Max right now, 256 gigabytes for almost half of that. So fantastic deal if you can find one and you know what to look for. And again, Apple does not sell these on their website, and that is for a specific reason, because this phone is that good and it would have taken away from your iPhone 12 sales. So look, the 11 Pro Max, the 12 Pro Max, two great iPhones, better value right now in the 11 Pro Max. These phones are very similar. Besides the redesign and a little bigger screen, very similar phones. You're going to have pretty much the same user experience on the 11 Pro Max that you are going to have on the 12 Pro Max. Speed-wise, you're not going to notice a difference. Doing what you do on a phone, right? Social media, pictures, things like that, you're not going to notice a difference. Even picture quality and video quality, unless you are a professional photographer or videographer, you're really not going to notice that much of a difference. Face ID is basically the exact same thing. Display, basically the same. So the 11 Pro Max, in my opinion, is the better value when it comes to buying an iPhone right now in 2020. I do really like the 12 Pro Max. However, it's about value, right? I talk about value and bang for buck on this channel quite a bit. And right now, the 11 Pro Max takes the cake, man. It's just a better value phone, bang for buck. What am I getting? What am I paying for? Again, $500 to $800. You can find a good deal on the 11 Pro Max or the 11 Pro if you want that smaller form factor. There are fantastic deals out there. And again, if you're not sure what to look for in the used market, drop a comment. If you guys want to see a video on how to buy something in the used market, just shoot me some messages. I'll make a video for you guys. But that's it, the 11 Pro Max, a great iPhone still today in 2020. It will be relevant for years and years to come. But that's it, guys. I hope everyone is having a good holiday weekend. Stay safe. I'll be back soon. Peace.